Welcome. Today is what is today? I think it's the 5th or the 4th or something like that. But anyway, today is the first day of what's called Q's Thoughts. I always see, years ago I used to do a series of videos and I would send things out to my family, just about things that God was putting on my heart, on my mind to speak, pressing me about, to talk to people about and share. I realize a lot of times, I've heard someone say before, a lot of one of the most wealthiest places in the world is the gravesite, because there's so many people that had ideals, but they died with those ideals because they did not want to share. They didn't share them. So I'm going to take my time and share some thoughts with you guys. I'm going to try to keep it on 5 minutes. I'm not going to be long. My brother already told me that you can go too long. So I try to, as a minister or whatever, you find yourself talking a lot. But anyway, today I want to share with you today my thoughts thoughts about relationships. A lot of us struggle with that. What I find, and especially just now coming from the Christmas season, Thanksgiving, then Christmas, it's a difficult thing. You start realizing relationships, relationally, how things are going on, because you have to choose who you're going to spend time with, or where you're going to be, and how do you make these set of people happy, and what's going to happen if I can't make it there. And then sometimes you stretch yourself thin because you're trying to be everywhere. But I believe in this new season of our life, and I'm going to speak about myself today. I believe that for myself, I have to gain a different understanding about relationships. A lot of times I think I'm the type of person where I go out, I help everyone, I make myself available, but I find that most of the people that I'm around, not everyone of course, but a lot of people that that I'm around, they come to me for resources. They come to me with questions, with things that they're dealing with in their life, but no one ever takes the time and says, hey, how are you doing? What's going on in your world? And I do have some friends. I can't say no one, but I do have some friends, but majority of them don't take the time and say, hey, how are you doing? What's going on in your world? And just really sit and listen to what I have going on. So what I do is I find other outlets to do that with, whether it's writing, journaling, or whatever the case may be. God has given me, blessed me with an outlet to basically release some of the things that I'm dealing with, and I'm okay with that. If God's called me to basically be here for other people, to listen to them, that's fine. But in the process of that, you find yourself, there was a time in my life where when I first got into ministry, where I was just overwhelmed. I found myself being there for so many different people that it became so cumbersome that I got to a point where I would listen to what they have to say. I would try to help them, but at the same time, I didn't want to listen to anyone else. I was done. It's like when they were out of my sight, I was done. I don't want to hear anything else, because it would become depressing to me. It would become, it's a situation where, and I know some of you can relate to this, where you have some friends or family that they keep doing the same thing over and over. It's like the same conversation. But the only resolve is to just stop. That's basically the only resolve to the situation. But what you find is, you have to have a different temperament. Some people say you have to have tough love with those type of people. But sometimes when you have tough love, you push people away. And then sometimes when you don't have tough love enough, you basically allow the people to keep doing the same thing over and over. But what I've found is a lot of times when people are doing certain things, they're just in a season of their life where they need to basically get to a position where God is going to show them a way out of that area of life that they're in. And I say that because I dealt with that myself, where I've been in relationships where I just stayed in them too long. I mean, how many of you can say that you stayed in a relationship too long? I know I have. I've stayed in a relationship for several years at one point in my life, early on in my life, that was basically it wasn't profitable at all. It was a relationship that only took from me. But the blessing in it is it allowed me to see who it was that I need not to be. And within that, it helped me to grow to become a better person for the woman that I'm with now, the love of my life, the mother of my children. So, it's one of those things where we have to look at it in a different perspective as well. So don't beat yourself up if someone's not where they need to be at that moment, because at some point in time, they'll finally get it. And that's the thing about it. But going back to relationships and choosing different types of things in this season of my life, what I'm trying to do is to be more relational. 1, with God, 2, with my family, and 3, developing new relationships within this season of my life. I believe in order to basically reach different people, we have to be able to make ourselves available also. A lot of times we get comfortable. We want to basically sit in our pity. I mean, I know a group of people, I know some family members, I know some people that when they're going through things, they basically hide. They basically go into almost like a closet situation, and they don't talk to anyone. But what I'm finding is, in order to be released from the hold that the enemy has on some of us, we got to be open to basically talk about some things that are going on in our lives. We got to find some people that we can share these things with also, because when you hold these things in, it's not good for you at all. I mean, studies will show that you can actually cause heart problems. It can cause high blood pressure. There's so many different things that can be caused from you basically isolating yourself and not wanting to deal with what's going on in the world today. So I challenge you. I challenge you through this message to this year, make this a year that you become more relational. 1 with God, 1 with family, and then 1 also with new relationships. All right, y'all have a good one.